Hello, my name's Mindy Erickson, and I'm part of this class this summer. I'm a teacher at Antonio Pantoja High School, and it's been quite a week, so I will try to get right to it before I talk about myself too long. You may notice behind me is actually a giant mirror, so you can actually see my entire dining room. It's probably kind of strange, and I have a lot of china and stuff. So anyway, um, I was just thinking a lot about portrayals of special education people in the media. Um, there are some books and shows that I particularly like. Um, when I was, I think, in junior high, I read this book called Karen, and it's about a girl with cerebral palsy. And at the time it was written in the 1950s, people would just be institutionalized and they would not be able to be part of society. And this book was written by her mother, and I looked it up to see what was going on with Karen, and she's still alive. She's 79 years old. She was born in 1940, and it's a really inspiring book about how she overcomes some of the issues she has to deal with. Another one I really love is Flowers for Algernon, which is a sci-fi short story. It's about a guy who has 69 IQ, and he's given a medication that makes him a genius. It was actually made into a film called Charlie, which came out in the 1960s. And I don't know, at the time I was kind of obsessed by it. And it's very emotional what he goes through becoming smart and then knowing that it's not going to stay. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the whole story. Anyway, and another show that I watch now currently is called Call the Midwife. And in it is an actor who has Down syndrome, and he plays a character who has Down syndrome. And he's a very good actor, and it's really cool to watch what they do with him on that show. Um, he's actually um, he was his real mother was not able to care for him, so he was put up for adoption, and the people who adopt him um, really love him, and he's slightly older at the time it happens. And there recently there was an entire episode pretty much about him. So and then another one, I don't know if any of you watch Speechless with Minnie Driver, but her son in that show has cerebral palsy and can't even speak. I guess that Micah Fowler, the actor who plays that character, he can actually talk, but on the show he has like a voice assisted technology that he has to use. And that show, actually, I think it had like 3 seasons. And so, I mean, my family, we watched it every week. Um, and I think that it's really inspiring to me to see that happening. And it kind of shows what the great challenges are for people with um, these kinds of disabilities, because in that show Speechless there are a lot of people's attitudes about him, especially because he's in high school, he's a high school student, and his teachers' attitudes, the attitudes of other students, what it's like to be dating when you are in a wheelchair and basically can't talk. And um, so you can really see how the technology and everything that we have now can really help a student like that. But another challenge is just how is that made available for people? I'm sure there are many programs, and I'm sure we'll be learning about that in this class. And I'm really tired, and now I'm just beginning to kind of fade away because I hadn't considered how I was going to end this. But I would like to encourage you to maybe read one of these things. You might be interested in it. Because I'm an English teacher, I really, I love fiction and I love stories, and they don't, and I think that true stories that kind of read like fiction are maybe some of my most favorite. And, oh, I just thought of another one. Probably my most favorite film about a disability based on a true story, My Left Foot with Daniel Day-Lewis. Don't miss it. Go rent it this weekend if you haven't seen it yet.